All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another coaching video. And as you might notice, I had to shave. I am back to work right away. And unfortunately, you cannot have a beard as a paramedic. Sucks. So let's get on with it. This is a gold Zerg versus Terran. I found this post on Reddit. Said he's been struggling, doesn't know what he's doing in this sense. So let's help the guy out. Let me go ahead and turn the music down. The volume's very loud. Sound channels. Music. Cool. Sorry about that. So, what exactly do we have queued up? Okay, so we do have an Overlord queued up. Right off the bat, moving your first Overlord is incredibly important. So when we start a game, obviously when we get higher level, the first thing we're going to do is make a drone, then work or split as they're going to the minerals. But we don't have to worry about that right now. For you being in gold, the very first things you should do when you start a game, very first thing, we're going to click the hatchery, we're going to make a drone, we're going to hotkey the hatchery. Then immediately after, we're going to take our first Overlord, and it's going to go right to the pervert pillar of our opponent's natural. It will be very important later for two big reasons. One, we have the ability to scout our opponent's main to see what's going on faster. Two, by the time it gets there, we can quickly poke in without really much threat, just to double check that they're expanding. If we can see that, we can have a sigh of relief. You know, it's at least for the time being going to be a standard game. But if we don't see it at least started by the time our Overlord gets there, we might be dealing with some cheese. So it's very, very important that our first Overlord goes out. The second Overlord, I don't like this. It should be queued up. I like how you at least sent it out. Kudos to you, honestly. But we need to send it more to the common proxy locations. So playing a Terran player, my biggest threat, like my biggest fear at least, is are they going to proxy 2 racks? Are they going to proxy 4 racks? Are they going to do something like that? Now, if they're going to proxy racks, doesn't matter how many numbers they're going to use, they're going to do it somewhat relatively close to your base. So here is a common spot. Up here sometimes gets used, but here is probably the most common spot at your third. So what I would do is I'd send your Overlord, your second Overlord, we'll rally it over here, we'll check up here on the way over here, and we'll check over here. We just need to use it to find common proxy spots.
SCV ready.
Okay, we're expanding at 16. We don't need to do that versus Terran. We can expand at 17. It is the most min-max effective way to do it. And there's nothing a Terran can really do to punish you for it. So it would be drone Overlord, drone, 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 hatchery. I'm going to back that up. When I was talking, when did you take your pool? Okay, so 18 supply. We're going to go, we should go gas first and pool. Okay, so right there, this is something we can do to improve our gameplay. So after our hatchery goes down, one of these drones can be rallied to the gas geyser to make it, and one of these can be rallied just over here or wherever you want to place your spawning pool. That way we can keep 16 on minerals as long as possible, increasing your income. Not terrible, but again, gas then pool. Hey, look, we are rallying into gas. We're keeping 16 on minerals. That's something, man. Good for you. Okay, so what are we looking at here? Okay, so we are sending this Overlord out. I like it. I'm digging it. Where's this Overlord going? It's just gonna chill. So typically a good spot for your third Overlord is you can either send it out to see if there's a later proxy or a hidden expansion or something like that. But if nothing else, I always like to keep my third or fourth Overlord somewhere over here. That way you can see any drops that are coming in from your main. Always helps out because Overlords, they're always giving supply. It doesn't matter where they're at. So make them useful. Make them benefit you. This, we don't need vision right here, brother. We just don't. Okay, boom. Big tell. 2 minutes, 24 seconds. The Terran has not even attempted to expand. Big deal. What is our opponent doing? 1, 2, 3 Raxes. He's just going to go concussive shells. This is a little weird because normally you do it off 2 Raxes, but this is gold, so whatever. No orbital, which is really fucking weird, and only 1 gas, which is also weird. I mean, honestly, you could do this off of 1 gas, but if you're going to go 3 racks, then, I mean, I guess he's going to make Marines. It's gold. This is not a build order. Yeah. So we only got vision of that. So right off the bat, here's what I'm concerned about and what you should be thinking about too. All we see is a Rax with a tech lab and no expansion. So while it's awesome we saved this Overlord, we are supply blocked, so it is going to hurt, and we only have 1 queued up. This Overlord needs to die. If we see no expansion, a tech lab, and no other structures, we need to dive deeper. We need to know what he's doing, and we need to know faster. The sooner the better, because that way we can respond to it. I don't like this position for a third. I mean, you can take it, but I just hate it. This is such a long way around. If you get creep, it's fine, but yeah. The reason I don't like taking this as a third against Terran too, especially against Terran triangle bases, because they're going to harass you here, and when you defend, they're just going to pick up in their medevacs, drop over here, and then your units are just playing Ring Around the Rosie. All right. So, here's about, let's see, you have a Roach Warren. What time did the Roach Warren go down at? It's actually bang on the money. So that's not a bad time for Roach Warren at all. 345 is a standard, super solid Roach Warren timing. Now, here's the difference. When you're playing against a 2 base, doesn't matter if it's Terran or Protoss, the safest response for you to do 9 times out of 10 is 41 drones, 3 gas geysers, Roach Warren, and 345 nonstop roaches. Queens to support. But there is a bit of a difference. Now, I'm sure you've heard, make more drones, that's why you lost the game. And you know what, a lot of times that is the case. But when we can't 100% confirm, but with the powers of replay and we can see everything, we 100% know that our opponent's on 1 base. So that means, realistically, they're not going to have much more than 22 SCVs. So we're 36 drones. So we're ahead. Absolutely, we're ahead. And when you're ahead, you want to get more ahead. But this dude's playing on 1 base. So it's very risky for us to make any more drones as we're doing right now. My number 1 thought is, I need to get in there and scout, number 1. Number 2, until I can confirm what's going on, I need to make a couple units for safety. How many units do we have right now? We've got 3 queens and no lings. We have 2 larvae. I would get these, as these injects pop, I would make a round of lings, and I'm going to queue up more queens. We do not need double Evo right now, but I mean, whatever. Throw it down. I don't like that we're still droning. And again, in any other game, any other scenario, yes, we need to keep droning. But, okay, let's stop here, please. We're at 42. We're against a 1 base. Please, no more drones. Okay, we're getting a layer, which I like. Do you have any spores? No. So spores, doesn't matter. I mean, if it's a 1 base, I would definitely get spores, just because whatever they're going to have, be it a Liberator, be it a Cloak Banshee, be it just a medevac, spores will be useful. And they're also detection. Spores typically go down versus Terran at the 4-minute mark, regardless of what you scout. We have no spores, but we do have a layer coming in for an Overseer, so that's something. Do we even need detection? No. Where is this guy? He's moving out. He's pulling a couple of boys with him. He's coming across the map. So, did we scout this? No, we didn't, because our Overlord is not exactly on the pervert pillar. If it was right here, we would get just enough ramp vision that I bet you we would see a couple units moving out. But we also have to be paying attention to that. So if we're not looking there, then sucks. He's coming across the map. All we have to do, honestly, since this is 1 base, is just sack the 3rd before I even watch it. I don't know what's going to happen. We need to sack the 3rd. We need to make we do have a spine. I would even throw down another spine. Just non-stop roaches. We're going to group our queens up and we're going to defend at our natural. We cannot afford to defend this. The creep is not far enough out. So if we go over there, we're going to be off creep. We're going to lose a bunch of units for a hatchery that's not up and running, that realistically, since it's a one base, we do not need right now. It would all obviously be awesome to keep, but we can sack this and we'll be fine as long as we don't try and defend it. If we lose a bunch of units and lose the hatchery, then it's game. So, we see that he's massing Marauders. He doesn't even have concussive shells. What the flying fuck? Marauders do counter roaches. However, in big enough numbers, roaches will do just fine. The problem is we need to get that big enough number. So we do not want to commit to a fight yet. Look, we have 5 roaches in production, but we only have 2 on the battlefield, and we're about to lose one right now for nothing, and a queen. We don't need to be fighting down here. We need to be fighting up here, especially because this is a ramp. Now, if he's down here and we can keep him down here while we're fighting up here, he doesn't have high ground vision. That means all of his units can't be attacking all of yours, but yours can be attacking his. That's an infinite advantage. So we need to pull back. At this point right now, that spine's never going to finish, brother. We're in a pickle. We're in an absolute pickle because we didn't have great Overlord placement on the map. We didn't see this coming and it caught us by surprise. So, unfortunately, we don't know, but I do because I have a replay, that it's still a one base. So at this point in time, trying to defend on the low ground, we need more roaches. We need to buy more time. As much as it pains me to say, your best play in this situation might be to evacuate. Pull the drones, pull the queens, pull the roaches up to the main, and we're just going to have to fight. We just need to buy ourselves time. We're going to lose more roaches. So the name of the game when we're defending something like this is having the ability to get a bunch of units out. Now let's say we queue up 100 Zerglings, okay? If we wait and all 100 Zerglings are out, that's a threat. But if every single time a set of Zergling pops and they go 2 by 2 marching into this ball and die, that 100 Zerglings accomplished literally nothing. And that's what we're doing with our roaches. We need to set the rally points for these roaches that are popping to the back or up here somewhere until we can get a ball of them. Because until we get that ball, we're never going to be able to deal with this. And if we send them in 1 by 1, we're just losing the game. We're just throwing it away. Yeah, this is never going to finish. We could have started spines in the higher ground, but... Okay, so the roaches are popping, and again, they're going to die. And from here, it's going to spiral out of control. And that's game. Now, okay, so I'm going to do you one further here. I'm going to take control of you, and I'm going to show you what you could have done. The best possible play you could have done. Now, when I take control of you, unfortunately, his units won't continue to attack, so it's just against a computer, basically. But for learning purposes, I feel it might help. So we're going to go ahead. We see here, we sack this. It's not going to happen. We back up. We start a spine again, and we actually start a spine on the high ground as well. We keep our injects going because that's incredibly important. We queue up a bunch of roaches. Now, as he's attacking in here, obviously, hopefully, what we want him to do is spend some time killing the third. But if he doesn't, and he doesn't give you that time, we're going to body check. So we're going to A move quickly, back up. 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 All we're doing is buying time. We don't want to commit to a fight. We just want to threaten him. And then, as our units slowly start to pop, all of a sudden, we have a bigger force. We have this ball. So we can queue up even more roaches, because right now it doesn't matter. The only thing we have to do is hold this push to win the game. Let's pull all of our queens down here. And we're body checking, and all of a sudden, we have this massive roach ball, and as soon as a couple more roaches pop, we can go over there and kill his army. Now, we have a ton of roaches. Now, as you can see, as I said, we went in 2 by 2 and we lost our roaches. We were never going to win that fight. But, with this many roaches, his stuff melts. Like, there's no way these Marauders, especially without concussive shells or anything, are ever going to kill this ball of roaches. We had the larva, we had the money, we had the ability to. We just didn't. And that is a big reason why you lost. Other than that, though, there was a lot of good things I saw. I did like the fact that you were scouting with your second Overlord. I liked the fact that you kept 16 on minerals. You had an idea. The execution just wasn't great. And that's okay. You're gold. You'll get better. I hope this helped. Good luck, have fun, take care of it.